There's a verse in the Bible, in Psalms. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." And this is just on top of my head, right? I have not. I just came to my mind right now, this moment. So I hit record. So be still and know that I am God. I mean, I can say a lot of things, but I think that one thing that it says is, in order to understand that He is God, you need to be still. And I just heard this in a something I listened to, someone I listened to, who actually made the statements that a lot of things in life, and this is just my interpretation of my words, right? A lot of things in life, we we don't realize what's going on at times unless things stop and come to a standstill. And this is the concept with running, with being, in this rat race. Everybody's doing, going, like the Energizer Bunny. It just never stops. And I don't think this is a good thing, personally. I'm speaking out of experience of things that I've been, my journey in life. And I honestly think we're not meant to just run. I think we're meant to walk. And there's another thing. I get there in another episode. I will talk about that more in another episode. But the thing of being still, in order to listen, to even understand, we need to stop. We need to stop for what we're doing, and just in the lifestyles that we have, just the world that we live in, especially in the modern world, Western world. We're just so busy. There's other words for that. So really busy, and you know what I mean. Whether it's like how we conduct our life, live our lives, and how can we even understand certain things if we don't take the time to just stop and listen? Like, I realized when I actually stop from everything. Right now, I'm drinking a coffee here. See. Those who are listening, obviously, you can't see my coffee mug, but I just took a zip from my coffee. And I used to drink coffee on the go, because if you're like, okay, I like this, I need this, so I'm just going to grab one and keep going. And now I'm started to actually have a coffee and just do my coffee, drink my coffee, and that's it. And look around, listen to the sounds, like this bird. Sometimes there's crows around here. Right now you can't hear them. Or I just heard my son with a tennis ball and the racket. He just banged at the door somewhere at the house, and it reminded me. It's amazing how those things give us memories, flashbacks, sounds, smells, things like that. It brings us into a different place from a different time. Again, if we are still and actually let it happen. Sometimes it's so overwhelming, or we're in a vulnerable place, it just happens. I think it could happen more if we actually would slow down and not miss everything around us because we're just speeding. Yeah. And it reminded me of a story when growing up, I played football, soccer, and we had this garage door, and constantly for practicing, every day, I would just bang that ball on that garage door forever. I don't know how my parents didn't go nuts. Maybe they did. They never told me, but they endured it somehow and just endured me. But it improved my skills. It gave me something to do, and I became a better soccer player. Anyway, but so that's just what happened with my son doing this, brought me back into a place because I was still. I actually paid attention what's around me, my surrounding. But again, speeding. I mean, I have a lead foot. I used to have a lead foot, not anymore. You learn, hopefully, after a while, and that's why I don't really care much about cars or what they are, how much horsepower they have, and how fast they go, because at the end of the day, I cannot really do that anyway, not where I live, unless I get pulled over by the cops. So I started to slow down there as well, because, the thing is, I used to wanted to go from A to B as fast as possible. There's no in between. And this, now you hear that sound in the background. It's actually getting real annoying. I think this guy has something against the fact that I'm talking about being still. There you go. But anyway, saying all of this, we speed through life. We run. We don't stop. We don't take breaks. And I'm learning through things that I've experienced over the last few years that less is more, slower is better, because I actually, as I walk and not run, or even run a full speed run, I actually am aware of what's going around me. I pay attention. I notice. And another friend I talked to about this subject said, he does at times his prayer time, he's just silent. He doesn't speak. He's just quiet, simply because he speaks so much normally to everybody else. And he's a preacher, he's a pastor. So you also speak to a lot of people, and then you give messages. And, it can be a very busy job, I know, because that's what I've been doing for many, many years in the past. But so whatever it is for him or for me or for somebody else, or maybe you have to maybe think about it, how much you run and how much you walk. And not now physically running, okay, and walking, but just as you would look at life and how you pass through life. If you feel like your weeks are just flying by, one day is like the other, or just another week passed, maybe it's time to rethink your position and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? And sadly, maybe it's the last thought about this, sadly, sometimes we need to hit a crisis mode, or something happens in our lives to force us to slow down. And this is normally not something we want, not something we look for, not something we enjoy. You can call it suffering, you can call it it's unpleasant, it's painful, it's whatever it is for the path that I'm on. But think about it that way. Maybe that is necessary. Maybe life, or God uses life to give us a message and say, you know what, fool, maybe you should slow down. Maybe you should stop and pay attention to what's going on around you, in your relationships, in your friendships, the kind of work you do, the time you have at your hand, at your disposal. What are your goals? Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you still going in the right direction, or have you missed the mark? Because, sometimes we start well with the right motivation, intentions, and then we get sidetracked, and it happens. And so these incidents, or these, supernatural, because it's not done by us and we can't control it, it just happens. It can be anything in life. And you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are listening and pay attention or watching, and that speaks to you, then you know exactly what that is for you, or what it took for you. Maybe it brings you back into a place where you were and you need to rethink it again, or just relive it. Or maybe you're in a place right now where it's like, this is challenging right now. So maybe you need to ask some questions. Maybe this is here to slow you down. Maybe this is here to put the brakes on a bit. And then after whatever we're facing and go through, fast forwarding, it's hopefully wherever we're going, wherever we're going, hopefully we don't do the same things. Maybe we learn the lesson of moving forward to actually move slower and pay more attention to what's going on, and actually enjoy what's around us, enjoy the moment or the day-to-day living, rather than planning 10 years, my 2-year plan, my 10-year plan, whatever. Maybe I'm never going to get there. I don't know. But it helps to let go, and it helps to slow down. And then one thought that helps me is to where I'm going next. Maybe those things that were important right now or up to now, maybe I don't need a lot of those things anymore where I'm going. So the weight will be lighter, much lighter, if I'm learning to throw this off and letting go. I hope that makes sense. This is, again, just my perspective. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Slow down. Take some breaks. Have a coffee. It's good. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.